morning, ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished guests. On behalf of Colonel Leland Blanchard II, Commander of the Professional Education Center, welcome to the 79 Tango NCO Academy Change of Responsibility Ceremony, honoring the departure of First Sergeant Alan Myers and the arrival of First Sergeant Justin Miller. I am Sergeant First Class Tanya Bushy of the Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Mistress of Ceremonies. Please stand for the arrival of the official party. Remain standing for the playing of the National Anthem and invocation by Chaplain Brian Keefe.
Would you please join me in prayer? Almighty and Heavenly Father, today as we perform and observe this change of responsibility ceremony, it is our utmost and paramount prayer that you, in your holy presence, be here with us today. We invite you here as our most honored guest, asking that what we do here today would be ordained by you and most pleasing in your sight. We want to thank you for the gift of First Sergeant Myers, for the wisdom you have given him in the most difficult of situations, for the care he has displayed in the most sensitive and tender situations, and for the leadership he displayed in all situations while he served here at the NCO Academy. We as an organization and as brothers and sisters are truly pleased with him, and we offer you great thanks. May First Sergeant Myers rest in the knowledge that his high standard and his legacy of excellence will be continued and further built upon by First Sergeant Miller, making this organization greater than it was yesterday and greater than the days before. Prepare us to receive the gift of First Sergeant Miller, his family, his leadership style, as he prepares to manage and guide the soldiers of the NCO Academy to the next level of excellence and professionalism. We petition you, asking that you would walk alongside of him and the journey that you have laid out before him. All glory and honor and praise be to you and you only. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. I would like to recognize our special guest, Sergeant Major Justin Lampert, the National Guard Bureau G1 Sergeant Major, Sergeant Major Matthew Roberts, the HRR Division Sergeant Major. I would also like to extend a special welcome to First Sergeant Myers and First Sergeant Miller's family and friends, First Sergeant Myers' wife, Katie Myers, and children, Harper and Max. First Sergeant Miller's wife, Erin Miller, their children, Thomas, Lillian and Jacob, and also First Sergeant Miller's father, Thomas Miller. We are pleased that you could attend today's ceremony. A key element to the change of responsibility ceremony is the passing of the non-commissioned officer's sword. In 1840, the War Department adopted the unique non-commissioned officer's sword. It is a completely functional weapon, not intended for display, but rather for hard and dedicated use. While no longer part of the Army's inventory, American sergeants wore it for more than 70 years, during which occurred the Mexican-American War, the Civil War, the Spanish-American War. The passing of the sword signifies the relinquishing of responsibility and authority from the outgoing and incoming first sergeant. First sergeants may come and go, but the sword remains razor sharp. The history of the United States Army and the non-commissioned officer began in 1775 with the birth of the Continental Army. The newly formed non-commissioned officer corps, like the American Army itself, blended traditions of the French, British, and Prussian armies into a uniquely American institution. The new republic, with its distinctive political system, new social attitudes, and vast westward expanses, influenced this creation, leading to a new non-commissioned officer corps, fully removed from the traditions of their European counterparts, ultimately producing a new breed of non-commissioned officers, now considered the best non-commissioned officer corps in the world. The colors NCOIC, who is entrusted with the symbol of our unit today, also holds the non-commissioned officer's sword, a symbol of authority of the non-commissioned officer. The colors NCOIC passes the sword to First Sergeant Myers. First Sergeant Myers passes the sword to Command Sergeant Major Bookout for the last time, relinquishing his responsibility for the sword, caring for the soldiers, family members, and civilians of the 79 Tango NCO Academy. Command Sergeant Major Bookout passes the sword to First Sergeant Miller, charging him with new duties as the custodian of the sword and giving him the responsibilities of caring for the soldiers, family members, and civilians of the 79 Tango NCO Academy. By authority of Army regulation, the incoming Deputy Commandant accepts the sword from Command Sergeant Major Bookout, acknowledging his new duties and responsibilities of the 79 Tango NCO Academy Deputy Commandant and is the custodian of the non-commissioned officer's sword on 1 July 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Ed Bookout of the Professional Education Center.
First, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's Professional Education Center, Strength Maintenance Training Center, Non-Commissioned Officer Academy Change of Responsibility. As we bid a bittersweet farewell to First Sergeant Meyer, and we say hello to First Sergeant Miller. I'd like to thank Colonel Blanchard, PEC Commander, for attending. I'd also like to thank the other training centers for your attendance. I'd also like to send a special thank you to Sergeant Major Roberts, HR, NGB, HR Sergeant Major, Sergeant Major Lambert, NGB G1 Sergeant Major, Traffic Leader. Your attendance here today is very much appreciated, and I thank you. Professional Education Center, Strength Maintenance Training Center is responsible for the training and development of the 79 Tango recruiting and retention NCOs from the Army National Guard. Unlike the active duty recruiters who are only responsible for recruiting the 79 Tangos, the Army National Guard are responsible for not only getting soldiers in the Army National Guard, but helping keep those soldiers in. Another unique aspect of the PEC Strength Maintenance Training Center is every Army National Guard recruiter comes through PEC and SMTC, nowhere else. This means that from the Chief of the National Guard, General Holson, the Director of the Army National Guard, General Jensen, the Deputy Director of the Army National Guard, General Andoni, and the NGB Command Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Sampa, down to the private in all 54 states and territories, was recruited into the Army National Guard by 79 Tango Professional Education Center, Strength Maintenance Training Center, Recruiting and Retention NCO graduate. All 336,392 Army National Guard soldiers are impacted by the Professional Education Center, SMTC, NCOA. And every Army National Guard 79 Tango leader development occurs here at PEC. For this reason, it's imperative that we fully understand and comprehend the importance of the leader development of our 79 Tangos. The first person a potential Army National Guard soldier will get to meet is a 79 Tango. First impressions can either inspire or dilute that young person's aspirations to be a soldier and a member of the Army National Guard team. We want the best in our formations. This requires that all 79 tangos through the leader development of these segments. Strength Maintenance Training Center, NCOA Academy, to help develop into leaders that will inspire the next CNGB, Director of the Army National Guard, Deputy Director of the Army National Guard, NGB Command Sergeant Major, down to the very private, and our future leaders of the Army National Guard. We need to have them see and know what right looks like, and that leaders look, and that our 79 tangos are leaders that when they see them, the very moment they meet them, they know what right looks like and what leadership looks like. The NCO Academy is just one of the many examples that echo the Professional Education Center's motto, readiness starts here. First Sergeant Meyer, I appreciate everything you've done while you've been here. I appreciate your hospitality when I arrived and the command team arrived. You have been a leader and in all aspects of being an NCO. We're putting together an Army 10 miler team that not only competed in the Army 10 miler, but came in third nationally. Put together a DECA fit competition that inspires soldiers to be the best physically, mentally, and spiritually. First Sergeant Miller, I want to welcome you to PEC. You have the command teams. We will support you in every aspect of your job. Everybody here at SMTC will support you. I want to welcome you and your family, and welcome to PEC. Thank you.
Thank you, Command Sergeant Major Bookout. Ladies and gentlemen, First Sergeant Alan Myers.
Good morning. Sir, thank you for being here. Sergeant Major Lampert, Sergeant Major Roberts, CSM Bookout for those kind words. SLC class, cool?
Whoa.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. Training center leadership, training center employees, and everybody else, but most importantly, thank you to my family for being here too. My wife Katie, my kiddos, y'all are my rock. You're the reason why I do a lot of stuff I do. When I found out in April of 2019 that I was going to come and be the Deputy Commandant for the 79 Tango NCO Academy, that was a big honor for me. For those who know me, knows one of the first things I'm going to tell you is I'm very proud of the MOS 79 Tango. I'm very proud of this MOS because it is the only MOS truly owned by the Army National Guard, which meant that I got to be the Deputy Commandant for a National Guard-centric NCO Academy. It meant a lot to me. I grew up, I dedicated a lot of time to this career field, and I was excited and I was looking forward to the opportunity. What the opportunity didn't tell me though, is that you're going to gain a lot of leadership lessons learned, a lot of perspective, a lot of phone calls 2 o'clock in the morning. Students do some crazy things. But then also, COVID happened, right? Now they're going to tell you, hey, not only do you have to be an effective leader, communicator, and influence to your team in person, but now you got to do it through a social or through a virtual platform, through not actually seeing your subordinates and your peers and your leaders face to face. But the job still has to get done. We didn't stop training through COVID. Professional Education Center still continue to move forward, and the 79 Tango NCO Academy and Strength Maintenance Training Center. That doesn't happen by me alone. That happened from the wonderful staff, employees, not just military, civilians, so on around us. Everybody came together and made this effort happen. Those are the kind of things that I'm going to take away the most from this position, is those leadership lessons learned, that knowledge gained, the right or wrong decision made, the decision I made, I own, I took control of, and I moved out, not for the betterment of myself, but the betterment of my organization. That's where my heart belonged all along. And I tell you right now, First Sergeant Miller, you have a wonderful NCO Academy you're coming into. This staff, the small group leaders, Sergeant First Class Faulkner, Sergeant First Class Dickerson, Sergeant First Class Larson, Sergeant Bray, I'll put them up against anybody in the entire Army. They're the reason you're going to be as successful as you are. And I would just challenge you not to forget that as you move forward. One of the things I was really hoping to do in my time at the as a Deputy Commandant was to bring more brand awareness and recognition to the importance of our career field and then also of the NCO Academy. And we started working on that by revamping the exterior and interior look of the NCO Academy. But then Mother Nature decided to wreck my building. So in February, we had pipes burst, water everywhere. My wife was with me the day we went up to the academy in February, and I was like, babe, I think water's coming out of here. We probably should call somebody, and sure enough. But with that being said, not just the Strength Maintenance Training Center and the NCO Academy staff came in, but staff members from around PDC came in quickly and responded and helped clean that place up to get it ready to be restored. It's that kind of synergy, that kind of cohesion, that kind of teamwork that I'm going to miss as I move forward to the next assignment. It's also a little bittersweet because I had a memory pop up on Facebook today that 1 year ago, the previous NCO Academy staff, we did their PCS ceremony. As Sergeant Blanton, Sergeant Bill Bruce, Sergeant Duplessis, Sergeant Thomas, and all them were moving on to their next assignments. And I was like, man, how bittersweet that 1 year later, it's my turn to turn over this great organization to First Sergeant Miller. I'll end by giving First Sergeant Miller some words of advice. You can either take or throw it in the trash, either way. But I would implore upon you to take temperance as you move into this position. Soak up the knowledge. Listen to those around you. Gain their experience as you move forward and you create the vision in the future of what you want to see the 79th NCO Academy look like. Remember, not everything's going to be a dumpster fire. It's okay. You don't have to react. Take the time, soak it up, think about it before formulating a response. But one of the biggest things I'll say too is be that shield for those staff members. Go to fight for them. Have that tough conversation with your level of leadership and higher level leadership if you believe that you got to do something to take care of that quality of life. Because as a first sergeant, quality of life is the most important for those soldiers. I'd like to thank you all once again for coming, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, First Sergeant Myers. Ladies and gentlemen, First Sergeant Justin Miller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody keeps asking me if this is getting heavier, and I put it on at about 07 this morning, and I said, yep, every hour it gets a little bit heavier. So I think the gravity of the situation is falling on me, and that's okay, because I'm up for the challenge. I would like to thank Colonel Blanchard and CSM Lookout for hosting today. Really appreciate you guys being here today. Sergeant Major Roberts, Sergeant Major Lampert, really appreciate you all making the trip down here. It means a lot to me. SLC class in the back there, thanks for coming out, taking time away from your busy schedules, going and hang with us in here. Staff members, look forward to meeting all of you. Some of you I know, but others of you I haven't met yet, but I look forward to meeting you. And most importantly, my family. So it's safe to say that I would not be standing here today without everybody sitting in the first row right over there. They are my rock and my foundation. And they are the jump off point for me in everything that I do. And I love you all, and I appreciate you and all your support. So I thought a lot about what I was going to say today, but I will keep it brief. I have been a 79 Tango for quite some time. Got into recruiting in 2008 in the great state of Ohio. Some of my Ohio peeps are out here right now. Right there, so it has been a journey. It's been a great experience for me personally, professionally. I have been to SMTC and Professional Education Center many, many times, and I'll tell you that every experience that I've had here has been outstanding. Every time I would show up for a course, I would get butterflies in my stomach on the first day, whether we were doing height and weight or the APFT. And I think that's a good thing. I think it speaks volumes about this organization and what it represents for us and our career management team. And I look forward to the opportunity to be a part of that and to improve the organization even more. So leadership, I appreciate you entrusting me with the responsibility of being the first sergeant. And I will ensure that standards are met and kept, and that soldier care is priority, because people are what matter. Relationships are what matter. And I look forward to building the relationship with all of you in this room. Thank you very much.
Thank you, First Sergeant Justin Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song. Everyone is encouraged to join in. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's Change of Responsibility ceremony. Please welcome First Sergeant Miller on the left of our stage and farewell First Sergeant Myers on the right.